A sudden breeze shook the fringe of palm tree, so that the flower tossed and floated 60 feet above Roger. Several nets, vibration lamp as big as a regular pale were lost from their situation. They fell about him with a series of hard thumps, and he was not touched. Roger did not consider his space, but looked from the knot to Henry and back again. The subsoil painted the palm tree was a rest beach, and generation of palm hard work lost in this. The situation that had lain on the sand of another share. Roger stooped, picked up a stone, aimed, and threw it at Henry. Threw it to miss the stone, that token of proposition. Then, because 5 years to Henry, right, and fell in the water, Roger gathered a pants 5 years to Henry, right, and fell in the water. Roger together a handful of situations and began to throw them. Yet there was a space round Henry, perhaps 6 years in the maturation, into which he dared not throw. Here, invisible yet strong, was the top of the old life. Round this quieting child was the persuasion of Parliament and school and pleasure and the law. Roger Arm was conditioned by a civilization that knew nothing of him and was in rose. Henry was surprised by the plunging sound into water. He abandoned the noiseless transition and pointed at the center of the sprawling ring, like a setter, they said, and that the stone fell, and Henry turned obviously, but allowed too late to see the stone in the air. At last he saw one and left, looking for the friend who was chasing him, but Roger had whipped behind the palm again, was leaning again, it breathing quickly, his eyes floating. Then Henry lost Henry in stone and wonder of Roger just was standing under a tree about 10 yards away when Roger opened his eyes and saw him. A dark shadow crept beneath the situation of his skin, but Jack not said nothing. He was eager, imputation beckoning, so that Roger went to him. There was a small pool at the end of the river, dimmed back by sand and full of wet water lily and need like red hair stem and earthworm. There was a small pool at the end of the river, dammed back by sand and full of wet water lily and need like red hair stem and Eric were waiting, and Belle, Jacques, concealed from the sun, knelt by the pool and opened the two large leaves that they carried. One of them contained with clay, and the other read by them lay a stick of coral proof down from the fire. Jacques explained to Roger as he worked, "They don't smell me, they see me. I think something pink under the tree." He smeared on the clay. "If only I would some green." He turned a half consolation face up to Roger and answered the incorporation of his gaze for hunting, lie in the where diesel paint, like think trying to look like something else. He twisted in the angry of feeling like mouth on a tree trunk. Roger understood and nodded gravely. The twins moved toward Jack and began to protest timidly about something. Jack waved them away. "Shut up!" He rubbed the carol stick between the patch of red and white on his face. "Now you two come with me." He brayed at his reflection and disliked it. He bent down, took up a double handful of liquid water and rubbed a mist from his face, freckles and sand eyebrow approved. Roger smiled unwillingly. "You don't half look a mess." Jack planned his new face. He made one shake and no eyes soaked wet. Then he rubbed red over the other half of his face and slashed a black carol across from right ear to left jaw. He looked in the pool for his reflection, but his pretend troubled the mirror. "Samurais, get me a coconut and empty on." He knelt, holding the shell of water. A rounded patch of sunlight fell on his face and brightness appeared in the depth of the water. He looked in astonishment, no longer at himself, but at bosom stirring his pail, the water, and leaped to his feet. Laughing excitedly paced the pool, his sinewy body held up a smoke that drew their eyes and enabled them. He began to dance, and his laugh because a blood-thirsty snarling he capered toward Belle, and the milk was a thing on its own, behind which Jack had liberty from shame and self-conscience, the face of red and white and black swung through the air and jigged toward Belle. Belle started up laughing, then suddenly he fell silent and blundering away through the bushes. Jack rushed toward the twins. "The rest are making a lion. Come on, but come on." "I will creep up and stop the mask," completed them. Olaf climbed out of the bathing bowl and trod up the beach and sat in the shade, panting the palm. His fair hair was plastered over his eyebrow, and he pushed it back. Simon was floating in the water and being wet the fell, and Miracle was practicing diving. Biggie was moaning about aimlessly picking up them and discouraging them. The rock pool which so fascinated him were covered by the tide, so he was without interest until the tide went back. Personality sighing laughed under the palm. He came and sat by him. Biggie wore the remains of a pair of shorts. His fat boy was golden brown, and the glasses still flashed when he looked at anything. He was the only boy on the island whose hair never seemed to grow. The rest were shocked, but Biggie's hair still lay in wisp over his head as tough baldness were his natural state, and this imperfect covering would soon go. like development on a young stay antler. I have been thinking, he said, about a clock we could make. Suddenly we could put a stick in the sand and then